Hi, in this video I wanted to introduce you to Dropbox. Dropbox is a program that I use all the time. I use it to store all of my files for work and even some personal files because it makes it available to me from literally any computer with internet access, and I can use it on a Mac or Windows, or even if you're working with Linux, and they even have a mobile interface. Now, in order to use Dropbox, you have to set up an account with them, and it is free. I'm going to start by showing you downloading Dropbox, and it's going to recognize the system that you are using. So in this case, since I'm on a Mac, it's going to download the Dropbox Mac version and put it on my computer ready for me to install. And it has the instructions here on how to install for the Mac. If you have a Windows computer, it will download the Windows version for you automatically into your downloads folder, and then you'll have a series of instructions here on how to install it on Windows. And once you've downloaded Dropbox, you want to go back and set up an account. So you can go up to login, you're going to choose create an account, and you can fill in your name and email information, read the terms of agreement, and then click create account. I'm going to go back in now and log in with my name and password. And once I've logged in with my name and password, this is what the screen looks like. This is an example of accessing your files from any internet-enabled computer. So I can come in here and have a list of all of my files that I use for personal or for work. And as I mentioned, there is a mobile interface. Let me just pop up what an example of that screen looks like. Now this is from my iPhone, and when you install the free Dropbox app, it sets up and it shows you in mobile view what you would have in your online view. So if I go into my DCCC folder, these are all of my DCCC files, and these are my DCCC files on my mobile device. So I can go in, I can download and open up any of those that might be viewable on my phone, and I can delete things, and I can also upload things here as well. So you can see down here we've got a list of favorites, and we can go in and upload, and you can also go in and change some settings for your Dropbox account. So that's a nice added feature. So this is the web interface, which is useful on a computer where you don't have Dropbox installed. So any computer you can just log in. You don't have to have Dropbox installed in order to get to your files this way. Now, one thing that is really nice about Dropbox is that when you start a new account, you get 2 gigabytes for free, and you can upgrade to a paid subscription. I think it's $100 a year for 50 gigabytes of disk space. But 2 gigabytes is a pretty decent size to start out with. Now, if I go up here to my account, it will show you some general information about your user account, like how much space you have and how much space you have left. I'm getting pretty close to running out of space on my account, so I either need to go in and clean out some files that I have in there, or I have to pay to upgrade to the next higher account setting. So I think I'm going to be going in and cleaning out a lot of files. And there's computers. Once I've installed Dropbox on my computer, it makes it a lot easier to work with and manage your files. So I have a lot of different computers that I am syncing my files with. And this is where I can go in to look at them and manage them. There's also a referral tab here. And what you can do is if you invite other people, you can get extra space. You can get up to 16 gigabytes of additional space by referring other people. Once you've referred someone and they have completed the whole process, then you get extra space. I think you get 500 megabytes of extra space. And it also benefits the people that you invite, because if you invite somebody and they complete the setup, meaning that they set up an account and they have their Dropbox set up, then they get an extra 250 megabytes of disk space, and you get an extra 500. So you can keep going up in increments of 500 until you get to 16 gigabytes of space. So for students, this is great because they can upload and manage files in the Dropbox, and they never have to worry about losing or forgetting their flash drive. With this, their files are with them literally anywhere that they go, so they don't have to worry about forgetting it. And the same thing for us as faculty. If we have files and information that we're working with and you meant to put it onto your flash drive to bring to class, or you meant to email it to yourself and you forgot, then it's the same problem. You are where your files are not. So with Dropbox, you are wherever your files are. So if I happen to be in the middle of a lecture or something and we're talking about something, I'm like, yes, I have a perfect example of that, and I don't have to say, well, it's on my computer at home and I'll bring it in next week. I can just bop into my Dropbox and grab it. So this is working with Dropbox in their online interface. But what is really nice about Dropbox is, remember at the beginning where we downloaded the software onto your computer and installed it? Once it's installed, then you can access your files rather than accessing everything through the online interface, which means if I wanted to download something in here, I can click on this and I can download the entire folder, or I can work with other things in there. But if I wanted to go in, I could click in a folder and get other folders. And once I'm in another folder, then I can go in and look at the files that are in that folder. And then I can grab an individual file, and then I have to actually download it to my computer to use. So that's if you're using the online interface. But if you have it installed on your computer, it works just like another hard drive or flash drive. So let me show you what that looks like. Now again, I'm using a Mac, but it's a similar setup as you would have on Windows. Okay, so now on my computer, I have displaying the files that are on my desktop of my computer. And I have Dropbox installed on my computer, so it's available here for me to just click on like I would any other drive that would be available on my computer. So Windows will look slightly different, but in the place where you have your files, you'll see a Dropbox icon. And by clicking on that, you'll be able to see this are the same contents of what I had on the online interface. So let's compare this to what I have in the online version. So if I open up my DCCC folder, we can see a lot of different files that are here. And if I bring up my Dropbox online version, you can see some of the same things. And basically, you should see all of the same things, because this is a mirror image right now. I've told it to sync everything from this folder so that it will be available on all of my computers that I go to work on. My course files are all in here, so I can access them online. But on my own computer, if I wanted to work with any of the files in here, I can double click and work and edit and save my files directly in my Dropbox. Once I've opened this up and I've changed it, then I don't have to remember to go in and copy it to the drive or put it onto a flash drive or email it anywhere. So I'm working directly with the files when I have the Dropbox application installed on my computer. For example, I have a few files over here that are on my desktop, and if I wanted to put them into this folder, it's as easy as just saying, I'm just going to drag them into this folder. So it's moved it from my desktop into this DPR 100 folder. And it might take a minute or two for this to sync with the online version of my Dropbox. So depending on how large the file is and how fast your internet connection is, it may take a few minutes, but let me go down here and see if it's gone into the DPR 100 folder yet. And yeah, these files weren't very big, so here there's a copy in my online version that I can access, and then the same files are in my Dropbox on the hard drive of my computer. So this is a very efficient and productive way of working and saving your files. So if you have things that you're going to be working on between different places and you don't want to have a different version on your flash drive that you have on your laptop, that you have on your office computer, you can create a Dropbox account, download and install Dropbox on your computer. Then your files will sync from your Dropbox on your computer with your Dropbox account. The only time that you'll be making a copy of something and working where it won't automatically update is when you're using the web interface. If I came in here and I opened up a file and I made a change, actually to open up a file, I can't open it directly from here. I have to download it and work with a copy of it. So that's the basics of working with Dropbox. I've found it to be very useful in keeping all of my files in one location and all synced together, and I don't have to worry about if I copied the files into my flash drive or emailed them to myself so that I'll have them in class. I can just come in here, log into my Dropbox account, download the PowerPoint that I'm going to show in class. So I hope you enjoyed this intro to working with Dropbox.